All right, and we're back with episode 2 of CC TitleTown. It's Friday, February 22nd. I'm your host, Chris, here with my co-host, Cameron. Cameron, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. We've got a pretty controversial topic today, one that everybody's been talking about over the last couple days. Zion Williamson busting through his shoe like the Hulk.
Getting hurt.
Man.
A mild day-to-day sprain on his knee, they said.
Luckily, it's only that.
That's true.
So we're going to get right into it, man. Do you think that Zion Williamson should sit out the rest of the year even if he's healthy?
Question heard around the world this week.
Man.
You know what? As good as Zion Williamson is, obviously, there's no question about that. The number one pick in the NBA draft this year, there's no question. As long as he's healthy, 100% cleared by the doctors, by the team, I think he should go back and play with his team and continue the season and finish it out. Whether that means he needs to take 2-3 weeks off, whether that means it's 3 games, whatever it means. I think if he's healthy and 100% cleared, he should come back and play and finish the season.
Okay.
I think this is gonna sound, I don't know. I think he owes it, not to himself only, but also to the team.
Mm-hmm.
He signed that letter of intent to Duke University to come play basketball. Although, almost everybody knew that was pretty much going to be a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
That's very common. You don't see players stay for 4 years anymore.
Right. I see your point. I see your point.
What I mean?
So let me play devil's advocate here, and these are reasons why people don't think that Zion should play even if he's healthy.
All right, let's hear him.
Okay, we just had this injury scare. What if it was an ACL? What if he blows his knee out?
Like he comes back and does it again, or the original?
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
Either way. This should be a scare enough that he should just sit out.
Right.
Because now it's like, is he going to have confidence in that knee still? Is he going to play the same way that he would? And you and I both know if you play with fear, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get hurt.
Right.
So there's that.
Right.
And then another reason. What else does he have to prove to be the number 1 pick? He's already a lock for the number 1 pick.
Yes, I completely agree.
So not just with his dunks, but he's shown that he can shoot the basketball a little bit, something that people didn't think he could do coming out of high school. And he's shown that he can do that, and he's got the potential to be a pretty decent shooter. And
depending where he's shooting from, he shoots 29% from the three-point line.
Hey, but, being a non-shooter, I think he could develop. He's only 19 years old.
Right.
He's super athletic. I mean, I think he can develop a decent shot, right?
Right.
Would you not say that?
Oh, yeah,
not.
Over
I'm not
time.
saying he's going to be Steph Curry, obviously, but I mean, LeBron didn't have a jump shot coming into the league, really.
Barely does now. But
yeah.
Besides the point.
Right. But he can develop that over time.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that, a shooting coach can, over the course of 3-4 years can help him develop a consistent jump shot.
Right. So he's relentless on the floor.
Yeah.
His motor
is a tank.
His motor is unbelievable for a supposed superstar. Like, yeah, you see superstars play hard, but he's diving out there on the floor like he's, the last guy competing for a spot on the team.
Right. Kind of reminds me of how Russell Westbrook plays.
Exactly.
He goes 110% all game.
Relentless.
Yeah.
So really, he's shown you the motor. He's shown you, obviously, the physical gifts that he has. 6'8", 285. He's got like a 45-inch vertical.
He's a freak.
What else?
I'm not questioning his ability at all. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
I don't
good.
want people to think that I'm questioning his ability by any means.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you are either. You know what I mean?
No.
He's a freak.
Mm-hmm.
He is a freak. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But what is it fair to then say he does sit out the rest of the season? Say he's out for 2 weeks, and then he decides, you know what? I know I'm healthy, but I'm going to sit out.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair to question his character? Like, I think it was Charles Barkley who was talking about this the other day, maybe a day or two after it happened. These players don't care about the game of basketball like they used to.
Right.
They don't take as much pride in as they used to. He could get hurt. He could get hurt at any time on the court.
Right.
Just because he has a scare now doesn't mean the next time he goes out there and takes a jump shot, he can't sprain his ankle.
Right.
So is like you said, people that come back scared, not scared, but you know what? It's in the back of their head.
A little hesitant.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that him doing that by sitting out the rest of the season?
I could see why.
And it's fair.
I could see why people
it's
think
fair
that.
to question then his character.
Yeah.
And his passion for the game, like we just talked about, how passionate he is on the court.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Obviously, don't know him personally, you know, and I don't know enough about him to, by any means, judge his character. That's not what I'm doing. But he's then saying, in a way, he's over this season with Duke basketball. He doesn't care about it as much as some people may have thought.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say to his teammates, to his coach, to everybody but him and his family?
Right. He's only worried about himself. And in today's NBA, look at Kawhi sitting out last year. Nobody really talks about that anymore.
Not anymore, but it was the talk of the season when it happened.
Yeah. To many, it may be worth sitting out and preventing injury.
And I understand he does need to focus on himself. Like, this is a one-season thing with Duke, and then it's off to the pros. But he will never have another coach like Coach K. He is learning more now this year than he will in the next 2, 3, maybe 4 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
Just from Coach K.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that means a lot to him. You know what I mean?
I would hope it does.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are players that they don't care because they know they're going pro.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't have a Coach K.
This is true. There are no other Coach Ks.
Yeah.
Nobody like him.
Yeah.
And
So full disclosure, everyone. I don't think Zion should sit if he's healthy.
no.
But this is what a lot of people are saying. A lot of NBA players are saying. Now, granted, these guys already got the money. They can kind of say what they want.
Right.
This is Zion's decision to make for himself in his future, his own decision to make whether or not he wants to play if he's healthy. I think he should. I think that he doesn't necessarily have any more to prove, but
it's not about proving anything to anybody else.
It's really finishing the job that you signed up for.
It's about your character. It's about your teammates. It's about your love for basketball.
Yep.
You know what? He's probably been playing this all his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, show them that you care. I think if he does sit out, I don't think then he deserves to stay at Duke University and finish the season out as a Duke Blue Devil.
Yeah.
That's not fair to the rest of his team.
Knowing
he's healthy,
mm-hmm.
I don't think Coach K will let that fly either.
Yeah. I think that coach, or not necessarily Coach K, but I don't think any coach would let that fly. And they shouldn't.
Absolutely not.
He's, like you said, he signed that letter of intent to come to play basketball for Duke University.
Right.
He needs to fulfill his commitment and play the rest of the season out, however long that's going to be.
Because
if he's healthy.
What message would that send to the rest of the players in college basketball?
Right.
The same message that LeBron sent when he started sitting out those games healthy as a healthy scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple games in a row sometimes.
Yeah.
And look what that started a epidemic in the NBA. Coaches followed it. NBA players followed it.
And the NBA had to crack down on it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, because they can find players.
Right.
Not that 15, 20,000 matters to literally anybody on that
Right.
in the NBA.
Yeah, it's pocket change for them, but still.
That's besides the point.
It's on principle, really.
Right.
So, I agree. I mean, personally, I agree that he should play.
I think we're both at the same, we're level with that.
Mm-hmm.
He should have to play if he's healthy unless he wants to leave Duke University.
Right. Now a player like Zion, coming out of high school, like highly touted, even though he was only the number 2 recruit in his class next to his teammate now,
right.
RJ Barrett.
Right.
Guys that are generational talents like him. The NBA is now open to letting high school players go straight to the NBA. There are talks of them changing the rule to, I believe the exact rule is you got to be 18 and then you can,
right.
You're eligible to be in the NBA draft.
Right.
So
now they're trying to lower it to 17.
No, it's 18. No, they're gonna lower it. They're gonna make it 18.
Oh, it's 19 now, and they're gonna lower it.
I believe the exact rule is a year out of college, and now they're gonna make it so that 18-year-old, basically a senior in high school,
right,
will be able to declare for the draft.
Right.
So, thoughts on that?
I think that could be one of the best things the NBA could do. And I'll tell you a few reasons why. One, I don't think it will hurt college basketball as much as people think. You don't have those players that come and stay for 3-4 years. You don't have those rivalries where the J.J. Redicks, the Tyler Hansbroughs, these players that see each other once or twice a year, but they see them for 3-4 years in a row. Right. So they build those personal rivalries.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those
were the fun college basketball days.
I miss those Duke Carolina games.
There's nothing like that anymore.
Where the crowd is screaming F you JJ.
Exactly.
Man,
yeah, right. You do not see that anymore.
Crazy. Yeah.
Because chances are 60% of their players are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the talent level might be a little skewed. It might not be as good, but that's totally okay with me. I would much rather see 3-4 year players there and see those rivalries than what I see now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. What I see now is great,
right?
But I miss those battles that they had. But to the NBA's point, if they did allow players to come right out of high school, I think it's giving those players a chance. It's taking away what's happening right now.
Right.
It's
the
completely
controversy
completely wiping it out.
Yep.
We don't need to worry about players now sitting out if they get hurt because they're in the NBA or they're in the G League,
mm-hmm.
which we were talking about earlier. Excuse me. They're getting, even if they are in the G League, they're getting paid still.
Yep.
And next year they're actually raising the amount that these players are going to get paid to actually earning $35,000, plus incentives.
You said it was like $35,000 plus they get it pays for some living expenses, right?
They'll get some addition to their housing and insurance benefits over the course of just the length of the season.
Okay.
Roughly 5 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
But at least they're being paid,
right?
Which is
they're a professional athlete at that point.
We'll get to the point on if college players should be paid or not. But I kind of want to hear what you think about the NBA lowering the age of entering the draft.
I think it's great. I think players like Zion. Now, while he has benefited from his time at Duke, he could have gone straight to the NBA.
Absolutely.
I mean, no just his physical gifts.
Probably could have done it when he was a sophomore, honestly.
Man, dude, he was a freak. He's been a freak for a while now.
Right.
But anyway, he's physically ready for the NBA. Clearly,
Right.
People question him coming from high school to college, like, oh, he's not going to be able to do all those dunks and everything against college Division I talent. Well, he's doing it.
Right. Exactly.
So
nothing's changed.
Yeah, it looks like he's a man amongst boys out there.
Right.
So, and he'll be able to do some of that in the NBA, no question. So he's physically ready for it. I'm looking at a list right now of high school players, of players that came out of high school when the current rule wasn't in place.
Right.
You got Kevin Garnett. This is pretty recent for the most part. Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Amari Stoudemire, LeBron James.
Sounds like a bunch
Dwight
of
Howard.
Hall of Famers to me.
I mean, yeah, perennial All-Stars, Hall of Famers, a lot of them. I mean, I'm not ready to put Zion in the same class as those guys yet.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely not.
But it's like, man, the physical gifts that this guy has.
Right.
Why not? He could be one of those. He could be one of those guys.
And I think we're seeing a lot more one and done players now, obviously. But I do think if they did change the rule when if you're allowed to come out, go into the draft right after your senior year of high school.
Yep.
We will obviously see more players do that than we did back in the day, like with those players you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we'll see a full 2 rounds of high school seniors. You know what I mean? We won't see 60 high school seniors being drafted.
Oh, I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, I mean, I'm looking at the top 10 prospects. Obviously, not all of them are seniors or freshmen.
Yeah.
You'll see maybe, if I had to guess, maybe 6, 7, no more than 15 through the first 2 rounds being drafted in the NBA coming out of high school.
Yeah.
It's not going to, like I said, it's not going to be, now they're drafting strictly high schoolers by any means.
Exactly.
But it does give these players like Zion the chance to not risk an injury that they're going through, making money directly right when they're done.
Yeah.
Because I do think they deserve that opportunity.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't think they can ever pay college athletes for sports.
So with this rule, do you think the NCAA would take that rule into consideration if they ever consider paying college athletes?
I just can't see them paying it. I can't see them paying college athletes in general. I just don't see a way that it would work. I understand the amount of revenue that they're making is astronomical.
Yeah.
And you have these NBA players tweeting, Donovan Mitchell, Boogie Cousins, and everything they're saying. I completely agree. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of the reason why I think they should be able to come right out of high school.
Yeah.
If they don't want to take that risk and necessarily that responsibility of going to college, because that's a lot of responsibility.
Right.
Then by all means, they should be able to have the opportunity to come out of high school. Mm-hmm. That way, they are making money.
Yep.
They are, they're getting some of the best training there is, even if they are in the G League, But I just don't see a way they can pay these these college athletes.
Right. Yeah. I also agree. I don't think college players should be paid. Not on merit anyways, and that sounds terrible to say.
Right.
I know recently there was a rule passed for like stipends. So each player gets each revenue producing scholarship basically. So football and basketball basically.
Right.
Would get a stipend. I don't know the exact amount, but
explain stipend.
So it's just like a yearly payment. So
to the university?
To the player.
Oh, okay.
So the player gets say it's $2,000.
Right. Got it.
$2,000 stipend, and that's it.
Right. Okay.
It's not necessarily based on merit.
Right.
But I get a sense of a lot of these NBA players that are tweeting, like the Donovan Mitchells and the Isaiah Thomases of the world. They're like, we need to pay. These players need to get paid, And I get the sense that they're saying like the Zions of the world are the ones that need to get paid.
Right.
And it's like, okay, what are you going to do about the kid that busts his butt just as much as Zion?
The walk-on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is still paying for his college degree.
That is paying, and at Duke is not cheap.
No.
No
college is really cheap.
No college, especially these private universities.
Exactly.
So you're getting, these kids on scholarship are already getting free college.
Right.
Now, obviously, they're not all going to stay. That's their choice.
Right, and nor do they take that even into consideration. A
Right.
lot of these players aren't thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get a great degree from this university."
Right. Not
fair to say.
Especially in basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I just don't see how it would work in the NCAA. That's a lot of players you got to pay.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it based on merit, man, that's how do you rank it based off their recruiting rankings?
Right. Coming out of
And
high
those
school,
are
which
all-
aren't even, I mean, they're
and
not
those
always
are-
accurate.
No.
You have, 1-star, 2-star players turn into
To pretty
top 5 picks. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the word lottery. Sorry, lottery picks.
yeah. I mean, it's possible. Yeah.
They'd have to get a union, like you said earlier. I mean, there would be so much into it.
Yeah.
But there's no way. I mean, there's no way they can pay one player on the team and not another.
Right.
There's no way.
I just don't see how it would work in the NCAA.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
I agree. They deserve. That's what I'm saying. They should be able to go out of high school if they're that good and they think they're that good and the NBA thinks they're that good. They're ready to start making money playing basketball. By all means, they should.
Yep.
But that's what these NBA players should be advocating for, is for them to come out,
Right.
not for the NCAA to pay.
Exactly.
them.
Exactly. Like, talk about your own league first.
Right.
Like, you're not in the NCAA anymore. You are a player in the NBA. You can
You guys can make that voice that you talk about.
Yeah, you guys can make that change.
You're right. Go to the players' union.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's obviously a topic now, but
Yeah. And so
it's so funny. It's not like these players aren't getting money under the table anyway, in my opinion. Like, seriously. Like, you don't see any college players really saying anything about it now because they're probably getting, money under the table, and that still happens. It's not like that doesn't happen.
No question. Let's not even bring up SEC football right now because
Yeah, that's another. We'll say that for another day. Like I said, the players are definitely getting paid now under the table.
Yeah, but like they should, again, just to recap, they should be allowed to go straight from high school to the pros if they are ready. If the NBA sees they're ready. And I think another point too, like, this might help the G League.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
I know the NBA really wants to expand that.
They're pushing for that for sure.
And they want to make this another option for players that don't want to go overseas,
right,
to sit out the year that the NBA currently requires.
Yep.
And B, if the player doesn't want to go play college, like, they want the G League to be, an option for them.
Yeah.
So I think this would be a great opportunity for that.
Yeah, it's only
if a player is like, okay, they're ready for professional basketball, but they don't want to go overseas, but they're not quite ready to be a rotation guy on an NBA team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the G League is perfect.
Let them be a 1-2 option on a G League team.
Right. Yeah. They get to develop some confidence.
Right.
I mean, we've seen some really good players come out of the G League. Hassan Whiteside signed a pretty
he's
hefty
a massive deal
contract not too long ago, and he played in the G League.
Yeah, he played in there for multiple years too.
So yeah, I think it would be a great opportunity for the NBA.
You see it now. You see a lot of players come into the draft that aren't ready for the NBA, but these teams are already willing to take the risk and be like, okay, I'm willing to wait 2 years until you kind of mature, your body matures.
Right.
They're putting that time into them already.
Right.
They know they're not going to be ready for a couple years.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
And a lot of people that come into the NBA aren't ready to, be a rotation guy.
Right.
So, I mean, why not give them the benefit of playing in the G League,
playing amongst some really good basketball players?
Start making a living doing it.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't see why. I still don't know why they even stopped in the first place.
That's a great because there's plenty of players that could have gone straight to the NBA.
Yeah, you're not gonna see 30, 40, 50 high schoolers come out of high school to the draft.
No, it's just not going to happen.
No, it's not.
You still get plenty of guys that have been there for a few years or are seniors get drafted. A lot of teams like those senior, those upperclassmen because they've got a great basketball IQ and they know how to play the game.
Yeah, chances are if you're drafting a junior or senior, they have a very high basketball IQ.
Yeah, they have a great deal of confidence in you when they draft you.
But these NBA teams see, okay, they're already 23, 24. That's when people's primes start.
Yeah.
So that scares NBA teams.
It could.
Yeah. But that's all part of it.
Exactly.
Some players take pride in college basketball.
Oh,
it means more to them than others sometimes.
Yes, I agree. And there's always going to be college basketball is always going to be around. It's always going to be a great product.
Right.
It's always going to be something fun to watch.
Right. And for the majority of these players, there's life after basketball.
Right.
They understand that
right.
The majority of NBA players, longevity is less than 10 years. I don't know what it is exactly, but
that's a short professional career when you put it up against any other profession in the world, anything else.
Right.
Other than sports, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or golf.
So what's your backup plan after that?
Right.
You left after your freshman year, you don't have a degree now. Mm-hmm. Sure, you have money to go back to school, but you're in your 30s.
Right.
So, I mean,
hopefully by that time there's a lot of opportunities for guys now.
Yeah.
But before there wasn't always. So,
right. But some people just don't think that way.
Right.
And I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Some people
they see the money and they go.
Right. And for some people that is literally their best option. Like Zion, he make millions.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to necessarily worry about his degree.
No, he doesn't. Again, Zion is he's gonna be the number one pick no matter what he does.
Yeah. Easily.
It's just the dude. He should play it out for the reasons that we said. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think he will finish it out too. As long as everything comes back good, I think he's gonna come back.
Well, and before the season, I want to say this is while these players were getting recruited, all the players on Duke, they wanted to team up because they this was kind of their. I don't want to don't quote me on this, but this was their whole idea. Is we want to have the best team ever,
right?
Basically,
right.
So let's all come together and do this,
right?
In college while we can,
yeah,
because they're not.
They all know that those they know they're not going to be there long.
So. Exactly.
Let's make it a good-ass year.
Yeah, basically is what they said. And up to this point, I mean, they've proven that they're a damn good team.
Yeah. I mean, they have their flaws.
Yeah.
Just like any team.
Mm-hmm.
And in March Madness, anything can happen.
Right. But if they're clicking on all cylinders, good luck to anybody facing them.
Well, and they're having fun playing.
Right. Yeah.
Although, they're taking it very serious. They are having a blast playing this year.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they look like every time they throw an alley-oop, the other person's jumping up and down for them.
There's not much selfishness on that Duke team.
That is a fun team to watch. They enjoy playing basketball together.
Yeah.
So I think if Zion comes back healthy and he plays, I don't see why they can't. There's no reason why they shouldn't win the championship.
No, there'll be a 1 seed, Final Four. Anything inside the Elite Eight, Final Four, anything can seriously happen.
I know, but
anything can happen.
My money's on Duke.
I know. I agree.
Yeah, but
for now, we don't know.
Who knows? We might have a Virginia situation last. Oh my gosh,
we might have a Kentucky.
That ruined mine. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. We'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we're both on the same page. That's kind of where we stand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of people stand. But I think one more point that I'll make is our stand on it seems to be completely different than actual players. People that are in the NBA, people that are in in or have been in that situation,
Yeah.
seem to be siding with the other side than we are.
Right. And their experience is obviously different
They've been
than
through
ours.
it.
And who are we to say like, oh, you need to wag the finger in their face? No, you
Right.
need to finish out college and say
Right.
and your year in college. I mean, who
Right.
are we to say that? But it's just
It's the fans in us.
it is the fan in us, but it's also it's the character thing
Yeah.
that I
It's
have
the
a problem
pride.
with.
Right, it's the pride.
And really, like Charles Barkley said, a lot of these guys playing ball don't really care about they don't respect the game as much.
Right.
And that's why I know we're pretty young, but we're pretty old school when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like you play your heart out until you just can't.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're tired, doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you're sick, hurt, whatever, you play.
If you're healthy, you should be playing.
Right. Yeah. So,
I mean,
that's our take on that. Switching gears
yeah, switching it up
a little bit
to the pros,
to the professionals.
the professionals.
NBA playoffs are pretty much they're sneaking up on us pretty quick. There's about 25, 24 games left now.
Yep.
We're looking at a list of the top 10 in each conference right now. So let's start with this. Who do you think? So outside the top 8, who do you think has a chance of sneaking in and grabbing a 7-8 spot?
You want me to start with the East or the West?
Let's go with the East.
Oh man, the best conference.
The greatest conference we've ever seen, right?
They're bad.
Yeah.
I think the Celtics they're gonna get on a run and they're gonna finish in the top 4. I think they're gonna finish better than the 5th seed. But to answer the question, man, the East is bad. The East is really bad.
Yeah. I mean,
you have Detroit in at the 8 seed, Charlotte at the 7.
Do you think the top 8 is locked right now for the East? Or do you think the Magic could sneak in or the Heat?
I mean, the 7th, the 6th, 7th, 8th seed. Oh, excuse me. The 6th seed, the Brooklyn Nets, are an even 500 team. The 6th seed, the 7 and 8 seed, have a losing record.
Yeah.
The Charlotte Hornets have a losing record, and so do the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
Orlando Magic. We just finished watching Chicago Bulls beat them on some free throws at the end of the game.
Those Chicago Bulls.
Shout out Chi-Town.
Man.
Anyway, I mean, this is kind of a skewed question because I don't think anybody after Brooklyn. I like Brooklyn, and I think they're definitely they're an upcoming team, but they're not gonna make any noise.
I mean, you can clearly just look at it, and they're 7.5 back of the 5 spot. It's in the East. It's a 5-team race.
Yeah, can we just scratch out the East?
I would even take the Pacers out of that because I don't see
with
them.
Victor Oladipo. You're completely right. That is such a valid point.
So really, it's a 4-team race in the
Yeah.
East right now.
Yeah. No. Can we just not talk about the East?
Sure.
I don't see any team.
That was kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, outside of Boston making any noise at all.
Yeah.
If anything, Brooklyn maybe. A very small chance, very small.
You think they could upset somebody?
Yeah, I could see them upsetting. Like I said, maybe they could land. The Pacers could fall, and they could land at the
top 4.
I don't know, something crazy happening where they land the Pacers first round. They could beat the Pacers.
Yeah,
I don't see definitely not Milwaukee or Toronto, Philadelphia. No, Boston. No, I don't see them beating anybody but the Pacers.
I gotcha. Okay.
I don't see that.
Okay.
Everybody else, these sucks. They suck. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're awful.
Yeah. Well, it's
I mean,
better. It's better than.
Do you see any team outside of those top 4 besides the Pacers making any noise in the playoffs?
No. God, no. Absolutely not.
I feel bad for Kemba Walker, man. He's a great player, but that team will never make any noise over there.
They're a small market. It's hard to attract big
They have
free
Michael
agents
Jordan.
But
I agree. They don't.
It's just a small market.
This is how they finish in the top. They always get 8, 12 draft pick, which isn't quite good enough to get a new
to that next level.
Building foundation piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then they draft a Frank Kaminsky who wow, man,
Great college player.
yeah,
But
great college player.
He's a role player in the NBA. He needs someone to facilitate
Yeah.
the ball to him.
I like
and stuff.
Detroit's team. I like Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, but
Yeah.
oh, man.
No, I totally agree. I think it's a 4-team race,
Yeah.
and I think, man, the Bucks are the young Bucks.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick before we switch to the West, do you see any team in the East really giving anybody in the West a run for their money? Wow.
AKA
you were going to say that, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA the Warriors.
Must be.
I mean,
well,
let's
we'll
be
get
honest.
we'll get to that next. Do you see
Anyways.
any team giving anybody in the West a run for their money?
if the Celtics can get it together, if they can
Oh, you're going with the Celtics.
if the Celtics can get it together,
Wow.
look at that team, man.
Trust me, I know.
Like,
I
I
know.
understand Gordon Hayward's not healthy fully. I don't
Right.
think he's fully healthy. From a serious injury like that,
Right.
like it takes 2 years.
Right.
But
Good thing they have the team they do because he doesn't have to come in and be the guy he was.
he doesn't have to be a 20 plus and 10.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He doesn't have to be that guy. You got Kyrie, Jason Tatum, who is an up and coming. I think he could be a superstar.
He'll be an all-star next year, I think.
And you've got Jaylen Brown, and you've got
Yeah, I mean their team is loaded.
yeah,
They just
great coach and Brad Stevens.
they haven't quite put it all together.
Right.
Like our golf game we were talking about earlier. They haven't put it all together
Yeah.
yet. But
Yeah.
if they finish this stretch of 23 games, or however many they have left, they have they have the 10th hardest schedule left in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Pretty mediocre.
I mean that's middle.
schedule.
Yeah, I mean that's middle.
Mm-hmm.
They still have the Warriors once. They got Denver. They got Philadelphia. They play the Pacers twice, but the Pacers, like we said, they're not
They'll fall
without
back.
Without Victor. But they also play Cavs once, Bulls once, Hawks once, Washington without John Wall twice,
Yeah.
Miami. So I mean, if they put together, say they win 15 of their next 24,
Mm-hmm.
and they finish out strong,
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why they can't make a run at the East.
Yeah. So
I don't know if they can make it.
the Celtics have a kryptonite, and it's the 76ers.
Oh, you think so?
They have not. No, I know. So I've seen the games that they've played against each other, and they cannot beat the Sixers for some reason.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man. Yeah,
that's the only team that the Sixers and the Bucks are the two teams that scare me for the Celtics. Now, man, looking at this, I want to believe in Giannis in the Bucks.
but it's just not his time yet.
I think he's got one more year,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll be ready. But
So you think
I'm
the 76ers and Boston are the only two teams that could challenge the West in general, not the Warriors, but the West?
The what?
Or do you think anybody
It's a
can?
real.
You are sleeping on Toronto.
I am for some reason.
I understand why, because they do this every year, but it's a different team.
It is. They got Kawhi.
Who's a dog?
He, as great as DeMar DeRozan is,
He's way better.
Kawhi is the truth, the claw.
Yep. He's like, how do I explain this? When he sat out the whole year, I was nervous to see how he was going to play when he came back.
Mm-hmm.
He has far exceeded what I thought was what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'll
I think he's
agree with
better
that.
now than he was with San Antonio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is. Clearly, he is. I would say that.
They are good.
Man, I'm going back and forth in my head. There's these 4 teams.
I don't think Philly's ready.
No,
I don't
I
think.
could. Yeah, they're pretty young.
I mean, not. They are, but. I mean, I guess.
I just think they
How
have.
many? I mean, they don't have any playoff experience. Jimmy's had a little.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias a little, but other than that, I mean, they don't have a lot of playoff experience, and that's why I'm afraid of Milwaukee too. They don't,
Yeah.
they don't know what it's like in a, Game 7 going to the East Finals.
So I'll say this. I think Milwaukee will probably get out of the East. I'm looking at this now, thinking
There
hard
you
about
go.
it.
Okay.
But
it's the vodka talking.
but
guys.
no,
It's
it's not.
It's
No,
the
it's
vodka
not.
talking.
No, this
it
is
just kicked in for Ken. Breaking news: The vodka Sprite just kicked in for Cameron. Okay, so now you are switching up. You're now taking the Milwaukee Bucks coming out of the East.
No, Giannis is the real deal. No, Giannis is the real deal. He's arguably the best player in the game right now. He might win MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. So
so
answer it. Who's coming out of the East? That's all I want
to know.
But no,
let me make this point. Let me say this. I think the Bucks will come out of the East because they have the best team to win the East.
They also have the best defense, I think, in the league. Continue.
But I think the Celtics, if they were to get it together, would be able to compete against a team that comes out of the West.
So let me get this straight. You say the Bucks are going to come out of the East, but the Celtics have the best chance to beat the West.
If they somehow come out of the East, they would pose, the best chance. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
I mean,
I'm just going to tell you, I'll give you a quick breakdown. I don't see the Celtics doing it because
you don't think they'll get it together?
I think they're going to get it together and they're going to make a run at the East. I just don't think that the players are ready for that type of stage still. Their team is so good. They're so deep. But they declined from last year. Like, the Celtics were clear-cut, 1 seed, challenging the Warriors this year.
Well, but you also didn't have Kawhi in the Raptors.
Sure. That's fine.
And
you still have look at the team. Their team is unreal.
Yeah. I'll agree with that, but they just haven't.
I'm not okay.
When they got it going, but when they've got it going, they look unbeatable.
Yeah.
In the East.
Right.
The only thing is they haven't been consistent.
They're not good on the road. They're 14-14 on the road, 500.
Yeah.
So they better hope they get home court advantage.
Yeah.
But like I said, nobody posed a threat after them in the East. It's those top 4 teams, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I agree. I do think Milwaukee's going to come out of the East. I think they're going to face Toronto. For some reason, I still think there's a little too much ego on the 76ers. Unless
there's too much ball to share around.
Yeah, if they can,
or too many players, not enough ball to share.
Yeah, if they could get that, worked out where everyone, gets on the same page, gets their touches, and they play as a team, they would be unstoppable. But I don't see that happening this year. I think it's between Toronto and Milwaukee, and I think Milwaukee is just they're going to come out of the East.
Okay. Milwaukee.
So now I'm going to start with you. We're going to get back to our original question, which was East was terrible. Which team on the outside looking in the Western Conference do you think could really not only get into the playoffs, but maybe, make some noise, maybe knock out a contender, or make it, to the second, third round that's not in the playoffs now?
Well, obviously, it's the Lakers.
Right.
I mean, let's be real. Last year, before they got LeBron, they had the best year that they have had since, I want to say, 2012.
Yep.
So for they had the best year they've had in 6 years.
Really?
With with some pretty young players, rookies.
Right.
A lot of rookies, young players.
Yeah.
Now they got arguably the best player in the world, LeBron. And he is, quote unquote, activated playoff mode, whatever the hell that means.
I hate that. Real quick, jumping in. 2 things. Just got an update. Jaren Jackson out indefinitely, rookie for Memphis. I think he was a top 5 pick. Quad injury. He'll be out for their most likely remainder of the season. Just a quick update. Anyway, back to this topic. Not that they were going to make any noise. Cause
Memphis is like why would you even bring that up,
well,
dude? They're the 14.
It was like breaking news, kind of.
You thought it was something more important. Okay.
I mean, it's important. He's a top 5 pick.
I understand.
He's their future now. Yeah. Marcus All got traded. Anyway, so real quick to the Los Angeles Lakers. So you think, did LeBron just go into the locker room and be like, hey, I know you guys were like all going to get traded 2 weeks ago, but I'm activating playoff mode, so I need you guys to understand. No, seriously, like, do you think he had to have brought this up? Like, did he say, like, hey, I know you guys almost got traded, but that's past us now. Don't worry about it. Focus now. Let's make a push. Like, he had to have brought that up. He had to have.
I think
maybe not that way, like,
and not that exact way, but he did come out publicly and say, like, yeah, playoff mode is activated.
Yeah, but
I'm LeBron James.
Yeah, who
I'm the
cares
greatest
about
player
that?
in the world.
Who cares about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Did he say something to the team?
I'm sure he said something, when they came back from the All-Star break.
Right.
As any leader probably should. Like, hey, we got these last 25 games. It's time to get it together, and let's make a push for the playoffs.
Yeah, forget about you guys almost being traded. That was in the past.
I'm sure he didn't say that. I don't even think he mentioned that.
I'm sure
I would hope he
wouldn't. But, that's probably what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you do think he probably said something to the team like, hey.
To get him right, ready to go for this last push.
Okay, sorry.
So,
continue now with what you were saying about the Lakers.
The Lakers going into this year were, after they got LeBron, they had that improving season last year. A lot of people were looking at them as being a 4 or 5 seed.
They're way overhyped.
And I mean, when you look at just the pure numbers, like them being improved greatly last year, and then adding LeBron James, like LeBron apparently adds 20 to 25 wins to a team. Who knows? Whatever.
Right.
But I mean, obviously they were going to be a playoff team once they added LeBron.
Right.
So now I think the Clippers, obviously, in trading Tobias Harris, I think they'll fall out. The Kings, they don't scare me. They're young.
No, not this year, but hey, I'm telling you right now.
In the future, yes.
Watch out for the Kings next year.
Yeah, they won't be
this good. They won't be this good. They're gonna be the Denver Nuggets next year.
Okay.
Just wait.
Similar team to that. Okay.
They'll be sitting where the Jazz are next year.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Sorry.
In that 6th spot. Cool. So I see the Lakers sneaking in at 8.
So you think they're going to slide in at the 8 seed?
And then...
Because they got the 9th toughest schedule right now. They still have Milwaukee twice, Toronto once, Golden State once, Denver, OKC.
Mm-hmm.
There's
a lot of tough games on their schedule. But I just don't. I see them winning a couple of those.
And those will be good tests to see. Okay,
are they ready?
Right.
Yeah.
When you see them play up against those Western Conference teams, that'll kind of give us okay, they're for real.
Yeah, they're not giving up on the season.
Don't let them get that 7th seed.
Yeah. So they're gonna sneak in at. I'm gonna say, man, the Spurs don't scare me either. But they're gonna sneak in at 8 and lose to the Warriors.
So you think out of the 8, Clippers will drop out?
Yep, Clippers are done.
Got it. And Lakers will slide in at the 8.
Yeah, and they're gonna lose first round.
Yeah, you don't think Denver will challenge the Warriors for the 1 seed at all?
No, absolutely not.
Even though they're only 2.5 back.
They're 2.5 back, but let's be honest, the Warriors cruise until playoff time. Like they can turn it on for the 1 seed if they need to.
Yeah.
So that doesn't.
No, I agree. I don't think
that doesn't worry me.
They'll lose the 1 seed either.
So that's the biggest splash I see in the West right now.
Okay, so you think they make it to the 8 seed, but first round exit?
Yep, that's the biggest splash. What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen?
Okay, I'm picking
the same team. You had some weird conspiracy
theories
going on before we started recording.
I hate to admit this, but I feel like this is something crazy that's gonna happen.
Jeez,
in LeBron's favor, and I hate saying this.
Here we go.
Okay, somehow, don't know how it's gonna happen. They're gonna get the 7th seed, right? Everybody's gonna be riding that train all the way into the playoffs. They're gonna get the 7th seed. They're gonna be, a semi-hot team coming into the playoffs, jumping up 3 spots. But they're gonna play Denver Nuggets first round. Don't get me wrong, the Denver Nuggets are for real, but they're young. I am predicting the Lakers getting the 7th seed, beating the Denver Nuggets the first round.
Okay. That's not far-fetched to think.
No. But if they get the 8th seed, they're going to lose the Warriors.
Right.
Which I don't think would be good for the Lakers.
or LeBron. I mean, how many times can you lose to one team?
I think it. I changed that. It could be good to get those young players experience in the playoffs.
Okay.
Against, potential three-peat champs.
Yep.
It could be good in that manner. For LeBron's image and his, his legacy, not, I don't know. That doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about that. They're gonna beat Denver Nuggets in the first round as a 7th seed.
Okay, I gotcha.
Then, I think they'll take a second round exit to, then that would be the 3 seed. Is that right?
They would play.
Just in general, the seeding.
Yes.
Right.
The three or the 6.
Yeah.
So right now, Thunder or the Jazz.
You know what? I'm changing my mind. No, definitely not. I'm not. No,
I think
OKC's for real.
If you say the Lakers are going to beat the Thunder, you're insane.
No, I was looking. I was seeing. I was potentially thinking Portland would make a run at the 3 seed, and then they would face Portland. But Portland's 2.5, 3 games back. OKC. OKC's not losing that spot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think they're going to advance to round 2, and then they're going to lose.
To the Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay.
In like a tough series, a
Man,
6-7.
I'm glad you didn't make that terrible prediction.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get
air.
that crazy. But no, I think everybody's going to ride LeBron's train. Oh, he's activated playoff mode. They're going to overhype him in the first round. He's going to beat the number 2 seed. They're going to start being, oh my gosh, he's going to make a run.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come to an end. But then, it's just going to be that annoying time in NBA playoffs where everybody's talking about LeBron, even though his team doesn't really even deserve to be in the conversation for the run for the West because
it's LeBron.
Trust me, I think Denver's legit, but I think if they come up against LeBron, there'll be,
he'll find a way.
see them losing, yeah.
He'll find a way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I could see. I mean, that's a legitimate argument.
Yeah.
Legitimate statement,
so
I would say.
That's what
okay.
I think.
All right.
But all right, so we're gonna do another hot take.
Oh man.
But this time we're gonna do NBA games
okay.
for Saturday night. We did do one last week.
Yeah.
That was the Kentucky-Tennessee game.
Let's not even talk about that.
Real quick recap. Cameron chose Tennessee.
I think I chose him by like 2 or 3 possessions, I said.
Yes, he did. I chose Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying I'm keeping score or anything, but 1-0 in Chris's favor. Not keeping score, though. Totally not keeping score.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give you 2 games for the NBA tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough matchup here.
Okay.
Memphis Grizzlies or the Cavaliers.
Jeez.
2 of the worst teams in the NBA.
I mean,
What do they call that? A tank off? They're both tanking.
Man, that's really what it is.
Right.
Gosh. Well, the Grizzlies just lost their top pick.
That's right. Whoa. Back in it with the breaking news, James
Okay,
Jackson.
all right.
Okay, so
I see how you circled back to that.
Yeah, I like that. They play tomorrow night at 7.
Where is it at?
That game is at Cavaliers. I'm sorry, at Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Cavs.
Go with the Cavs.
Yeah, just for the sake of...
Shits and giggles.
Yeah, that's really just... I really don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah. I see Mike Conley dropping like a hard 35.
Oh, man.
Like going off.
Okay, all right.
But actual good game we got tomorrow afternoon. What do they call that? A matinee, but I think that's only on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow at 1, Blazers versus 76ers.
Ooh.
I think that one's at Philadelphia.
At Philly. Ooh.
So I think they both.
They both need a big win.
They're both 4 seeds right now.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Philly because it's at home. Ben Simmons, to me, he's impressive, man.
See, I feel opposite. He's underachieving.
Underachieving.
Okay,
when
let me not say achieving. His stats look good, right? Like, you look at his stats, like, okay, he's putting up those numbers, but it's like, he's not fun to watch.
I agree, but he just gets it done.
let's just say, just like Zion, he better learn how to shoot the ball.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
Zion's got a much better shot than Ben Simmons.
If
Ben Simmons' jumper is broke.
If he doesn't learn how to shoot, he'll be a. Not that Giannis isn't good, but everybody knows Giannis can't shoot.
Well,
Yet he still puts up 25 a game.
Couldn't shoot. He can shoot
he
much better this year.
But he can't shoot.
Right. I gotcha.
But anyway, you're taking Philly.
I'm going to go with Philly.
All right. I'm going to go with the point guards again. I think Dame's going to go off for 30+.
Okay.
And Trailblazers win.
All right.
All right.
Fair enough.
Those will be the two hot takes. The battle of the worst and the battle of the 4 seeds. All right. Well, that is episode 2 of CC TitleTown. Another great one in the books. I'm going to say farewell to you guys today. I'm your host, Chris, with my co-host, Cameron. Cameron, send them off.
All right. Make sure you guys check us out on Google Play. You can subscribe there, and then also you can subscribe at iTunes. And remember the podcast title, CC TitleTown. Check you guys next week.